Yo, what's good, yo? In my last video, I talked about how the anime defenders market is really cooked right now, and whenever I talk about how anime defenders is in a bad state, a very common thing that gets brought up is, do you think anime vanguards will kill anime defenders when it drops? So in essence, people are wondering that when anime vanguards drop, is anime defenders going to lose his entire player base right now? And this is my take on it. I could be way off, but I'll let you guys know. So if you don't know, anime vanguards is another tower defense coming out, and its whole thing is that it's trying to stay very close to anime adventures and replicate it to a T. It doesn't really try switching it up too much. It's adding some quality of life features, but overall it's just trying to follow the path that anime adventures carved out. This is due to a lot of people who just really want AA again. You see this all the time. Even when anime defenders shop, people keep saying memes like, this is my anime adventures, what will I ever do? I need anime adventures back. Me personally, even though I made a career on anime adventures, I honestly, like, now that there's another game to play, I don't honestly miss it that much. At the end of the day, something people seem to be forgetting was that anime adventures had its own fair share of issues. Yes, I'm very sad with how anime defenders is in terms of its economy, but anime adventures still had some issues, in my opinion, with lack of actual content in their updates. I feel like they would have recycled the same updates every time. I wish they innovated more. Obviously, how pay to win the game was. Stuff like Deal Over Heaven or trying to get the Roger secret never sat right with me. At least in this game, the only secret so far that's been completely unobtainable for me is the Shadow Dragon, which, don't get me wrong, anime defenders doing the Shadow Dragon is just like, they pulled an AA on that one. That's literally like the Deal Over Heaven of this game. It's some BS, and I'm very disappointed with them for doing that. But anime adventures for sure did a lot more. So when a lot of people think anime vanguards is gonna kill this game because it's like AA, they seem to forget that anime adventures also had its issues. However, I do think anime vanguards is going to do really well. Even though I just talked about how AA had its issues, the reality is a lot of people would not really care about that. A lot of people aren't going to think objectively about like, oh, but this game isn't perfect either. A lot of people really just miss anime adventures mostly because of nostalgia, and also just because they're already so comfortable with it that once they see something they're comfortable with, they want to go immediately back to that. Another very big critique that's given to anime defenders are the character models, and to be honest, I personally don't care too much about the models. Like, in my opinion, as long as the model is high quality, I'm happy with it. But I completely understand where people are coming from. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Berserk, and this is not Guts. Like, no matter how you look at it, this is not Guts from Berserk. It's just not. It doesn't look anything like him. The armor and the stance he's doing are the only things that are somewhat similar, and they're still off. You know what I'm saying? Like, the sword's completely off, the color scheme. So, and I know anime defenders doing all this in terms to avoid copyright, but something that really confuses me is that anime vanguard seems to have really similar models. So this leads me to believe that when anime vanguards drops, it is incredibly likely to get taken down by copyright, unless they've taken any precautionary measures. But I don't know any that they've taken, and I don't know how you can even avoid that. If anime adventures, one of the biggest games, couldn't avoid it, I don't know how anime vanguards is. But I am hopeful that they don't get taken down, because I think having anime vanguards out would be a good thing. At the end of the day, you might have heard this before, but competition just really increases productivity. When you have competition, like there's another product that's doing just as good as yours, you're more inspired, or you're more motivated to make the game better. That's a big reason why anime adventures never changed. Like how I said that I felt they just recycle updates and never really try to innovate, and it's because anime adventures never had to. Think about how many people complain about anime adventures being pay to win. Why would anime adventures care? There was no other option. I mean, you could play All-Star Tower Defense if you consider that an option, but besides that, like, there was no competition. AA really had the market, so that's why they never really like decided to change anything. With anime defenders, I'm sure if anime vanguard dropped and it does successful, anime defenders will be much more prone to listening to community feedback, and vice versa. Anime vanguards will listen to community feedback if anime defenders is doing better than it. It's just how it works. So at the end of the day, I think the competition will help both games. Now, will anime vanguards kill it? I don't think so. However, when anime defenders first dropped, I told people when anime vanguards drops, they're both going to probably have like a 50-50 split. But the more I've seen anime defenders kind of fall in a sense, I think anime vanguards will be bigger. I think it's just going to be bigger. I think anime defenders will still have a player base, kind of like how anime last dance still has a player base right now, but I'm pretty sure anime vanguards will have the bigger player base. Not in terms of numbers, because anime defenders has a huge number player count, but like probably 65% of those are bots. Never trust this game's player count, because I'm telling you, probably over 50% of them are just bots. So there's like 230,000 people active right now. Maybe 90,000 real humans are active. The rest are probably just bots. But I think Anime Vanguard is going to have more of a real player count, more of a real player base, mainly because of the reasons I already mentioned. It's more like AA. People miss AA. Nostalgia gets to people, stuff like that. So that's my personal take. I don't think Anime Vanguards will kill Anime Defenders, but I do think it'll be bigger than it. I think Anime Defenders will keep its loyal fan base to some extent, but a lot of people are for sure waiting to jump ship and play another game. They just have nothing else to do right now. Now, another thing I want to touch on is like what are my thoughts if Anime Vanguards is a better game. Because just because I think it's going to do better doesn't really mean I think it's a better game. But honestly, from what I've been seeing from these trailers, I'm actually really excited for Anime Vanguards, not gonna lie. Like I said, I never had that much allegiance to AA. Like, I'm not really looking forward to another AA clone. But it just in terms of quality and in terms of features, it seems Anime Vanguards is actually planning on adding more features to Anime Adventures. It seems you're gonna have a lot of features on drop. So I really do think they care about their product, and I am very excited to look forward to it. I'm not gonna get my hopes too up because there's been times where I get my hopes up for a game and then it drops and doesn't live up to my expectations, sadly. So I'm just gonna try to not get my hopes too crazy up, but I am looking forward to Anime Vanguards. And with what I think so far, I think on launch Anime Vanguards might be a better game than Anime Defenders, just because I'm not a fan of a lot of the Anime Defenders features, but we will see. At the end of the day, just because Anime Vanguards has a higher player count might not mean it's a better game inherently. I will for sure probably be making videos on both, because at the end of the day, as a content creator, free content is free content, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's been times where this last update, grinding for guts, I was even having a lot of fun on Anime Defenders, to be honest. But content is content at the end of the day. It's kind of what I do. It's almost like a job. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. Are you more excited for Anime Vanguards? Do you think you'll be switching to Anime Vanguards when it drops? Do you think you're more loyal to Anime Defenders? What are your problems with Anime Vanguards? What are your problems with Anime Defenders? Let me know all that stuff in the comments. It was fun reading your comments in the last video and all that. But yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Peace out.